Jesus said, "No one who puts their hand to the plough and looks back is fit for the kingdom of God." Ouch. It's not the kind of Jesus that we really want to hear about, is it? This is not the kind of Jesus that we want to meet. We want to meet gentle Jesus, meek and mild, Jesus who is full of love and compassion and tenderness. This is like the grouchy Jesus, the hard Jesus, the uncompromising Jesus. Maybe that says as much. Maybe our uncomfortableness, our sense of discomfort, has to do with as much as what we project onto Jesus as to who he really was and is. And I think too, well, I can only speak for myself, but really part of my own discomfort with this gospel is that, I really think actually Jesus is talking about me. There are two things that really strike me, two things that really kind of hit me in the face this week, thinking about this gospel. But first, a little context. So Jesus has finished his ministry in Galilee, and now he's journeying south. He's journeying south towards Jerusalem, and it's not just that he wants to go and hang out in the big city. This is Jesus' last journey, and he knows it. Jesus is going down to Jerusalem to confront the man. He's going down to confront the high priest and the Sanhedrin and all of the religious authorities there. And he's also going to confront Rome, Pontius Pilate, and the cruelty and tyranny that represents. And yes, sure, he may not have known the details, but he must have known what was going to come. Jesus was not prepared to water it down. You remember in the Gospels, there were lots of times people said, "Don't go down to Jerusalem," or "Just stay with us up here in the countryside," or "Herod is going to get you." Jesus knew. Jesus knew. He was on the road. And perhaps because of that, he didn't have a lot of time or patience for, silly questions or half-hearted support. "Well, I'll follow you, but yes, I'd like to help you. I've got your back, but, I've got other things, but I'll try and fit it in." Jesus was this was his last journey. He didn't have time for a lot of messing around. But two things strike me about this gospel. First is that last sentence. Those who put their hand to the plough and look back are not fit for the kingdom of God. You know how much I like wordplay. And so I looked at the Greek word that we've translated fit, and actually there is another translation which is adapted. Adapted. So the reading would be, those who put their hand to the plough are not adapted for the kingdom of God, which is sort of different, isn't it? Because fit sounds like, well, you fit in if you have friends, or you fit in if you dress the right way or behave in the right way, or you fit if you have enough money or you have enough social status. It's nothing like that at all. It's about, are you adapted for the kingdom of God? Are you mentally and spiritually adapted to see things and feel things the way God does? Those of us who have traveled know what it's like to be out of the environment in which we are adapted to live. You go to a foreign country, nobody understands what you're saying. Well, actually, more and more people do, because unlike us, they learn English, a foreign language. But it is hard and it's difficult. You don't know anybody, you don't know the language, you don't know the customs. Yeah, it's really difficult. It's hard to live in an environment to which we are not adapted. 50 years ago, in a few weeks' time, thinking about a more extreme case of adaptation, the first human beings arrived on the moon. Well, you can't survive on the moon unless you have very specialized equipment. We are certainly not adapted to live on the moon.